Before the first human drew breath, a secret was planted in the heart of creation that would shape every soul for eternity. And yet no one talks about the truth that binds Adam, Eve, original sin, and personal responsibility together in ways that will leave you breathless. Why does humanity wrestle with sin and accountability? Why do some believe we inherit the weight of our ancestors, while others insist every soul is born clean, responsible only for its own choices? What has been hidden in the scriptures for centuries that could change how you live, love, and understand morality forever? In this journey, you will uncover the hidden layers of original sin and personal responsibility. See how Christianity and Islam offer radically different perspectives on the legacy of Adam and Eve, and understand why every action you take carries eternal significance. You will witness how ancient truths still govern modern lives, how grace and accountability intertwine, and how the choices you make every day reflect the first footsteps in the garden of all creation. Every word, every story, every insight in this video is designed to illuminate your mind, heal your spirit, and awaken a deeper understanding of human responsibility, grace, compassion, and ethical decision-making. Comment below your thoughts on whether you believe in the burden of original sin or the freedom of personal responsibility. Like and subscribe to journey deeper into the revelations that link the wisdom of Scripture with the power of human choice, and let this story transform the way you see your life, your decisions, and the world around you. Adam, the first ancestor, and the first lesson. Imagine standing at the very edge of creation, feeling the raw pulse of life as Adam took his first steps, every breath vibrating with the weight of human choice and the unseen threads of destiny. He was not just the first human, he was the living template, a vessel through which sin entered the world and through which grace would eventually flow to every soul. Original sin, personal responsibility, human choice, and grace converged in that first heartbeat, setting the stage for every life that would follow. Picture the garden, lush, vibrant, yet trembling with the potential of a single choice that could shape eternity. Adam's struggle was not distant history. It is mirrored in every human heart, every decision, every moral crossroad. In Christianity, Adam's actions carried the weight of all humanity. The concept of original sin is not meant to condemn, but to illuminate the human condition, to teach that imperfection is universal and that grace is both needed and available. Every human being inherits not just a lineage, but a moral landscape, a chance to navigate temptation, weakness, and opportunity with awareness and intention. Consider a modern scenario: a student facing the temptation to cheat, an employee pressured to compromise integrity, a friend challenged to respond with patience rather than anger. In each case, Adam's story whispers through the heart, reminding us that the awareness of imperfection is the first step toward ethical action and personal growth. The lesson here is profound yet simple. Recognition of weakness allows us to embrace grace, transform our choices, and cultivate the strength to rise above instinct and circumstance. Islam presents Adam in a different light. Though he too made a mistake, his descendants were born clean, free from inherited guilt. Each soul is accountable only for its own actions, empowered to choose morality independently. Think of a young professional in a competitive environment, facing ethical dilemmas. The awareness that every decision is personally accountable fuels integrity and courage. Here, personal responsibility is not a burden. It is a sacred gift, an invitation to exercise autonomy, to build character, and to experience the profound satisfaction of making choices aligned with ethical and spiritual principles. Every act of honesty, every moment of patience, every decision to extend kindness becomes a living testament to the principles that Adam embodied, demonstrating that moral courage and ethical awareness are timeless, relevant, and healing. Everyday life mirrors these ancient truths. When you pause before speaking harsh words, when you choose to act with integrity at work, when you show compassion to a stranger, you are participating in the eternal story of Adam and Eve. Christianity teaches that even amidst weakness, grace illuminates the path forward, guiding hearts toward redemption and ethical living. Islam teaches that responsibility and freedom are inseparable, empowering each soul to navigate life with clarity and courage. Together, these perspectives offer a dual lens, one that heals through recognition of imperfection, one that empowers through conscious action. Both invite reflection, inspire courage, and encourage lives lived with intention, integrity, and light. Every moment is an opportunity. The choice to act ethically, to forgive, to speak truth, to extend compassion, to take responsibility for personal action, becomes a powerful echo of the first lessons of humanity. In your daily life, the principle of original sin reminds you to seek grace in moments of weakness, while personal responsibility reminds you that each action matters, each decision shapes your soul, and every gesture contributes to a moral universe that stretches beyond the present moment. The lesson is intimate, yet universal. Every human being is both inheritor and creator, walking the line between inherited imperfection and the power to choose, guided by conscience, faith, and awareness. Original sin in Christianity. The weight of original sin in Christianity is not punishment, it is illumination. Through Adam, sin entered the world, yet through Christ, grace floods every heart willing to receive it. Every human being begins life with an awareness of imperfection, a moral map that guides action, reflection, and transformation. Imagine a young adult navigating modern life, facing choices at work, in relationships, and within themselves. Each temptation to act selfishly, each moment of ethical tension resonates with the story of Adam. Every step toward integrity, every gesture of humility, every act of compassion becomes a reflection of grace in action, a bridge between human weakness and divine guidance. Consider the rituals of faith, the prayers, the reflections, the confessions. They are not mere formalities. They are living interactions with the concept of original sin. They provide structure, context, and guidance to navigate the moral landscape inherited from the first human. Every time someone chooses kindness over cruelty, honesty over deceit, patience over anger, they participate in the ongoing redemption story, transforming the weight of inherited imperfection into opportunities for growth, healing, and light. Common misunderstandings of original sin often obscure its true purpose. Many assume it is condemnation, a burden imposed without remedy. In truth, it is the framework that reveals the necessity of grace, the opportunity to act ethically, and the power of conscious decision-making. Every human being faces challenges: professional pressure, relational conflict, personal temptation, and original sin provides the context to navigate these trials wisely, ethically, and spiritually. The lesson is profound. Recognizing imperfection is not defeat, it is empowerment. Every small choice becomes a spiritual statement. When a child chooses honesty over lying, when a friend chooses forgiveness over resentment, when a leader chooses transparency over deceit, each act embodies the teachings of original sin and grace. Christianity teaches that imperfection is universal, but redemption is available, and every conscious decision brings us closer to embodying the light of these ancient truths. By reflecting on daily decisions, by acknowledging human weakness, and by embracing grace, the story of Adam transforms from distant history into immediate relevance. It becomes the lens through which ethical dilemmas, moral growth, and personal responsibility are understood, guiding every human toward healing, integrity, and spiritual fulfillment. Comment your thoughts below. Do you feel more guided by the weight of original sin or the power of personal responsibility? Like and subscribe to continue exploring these timeless truths, to connect with a community dedicated to understanding, growth, and the transformative power of choice, and to illuminate the path toward living with purpose, integrity, and light. Personal responsibility in Islam. Imagine standing in a quiet room, feeling the weight of every choice you have ever made. In Islam, personal responsibility is the heartbeat of moral life. Every soul is born clean, free from the shadows of ancestors, and the burden of sin belongs solely to the individual. The Quran declares that no one bears the weight of another's error, and this truth is both liberating and electrifying. Each action, each word, each decision carries profound significance, echoing far beyond the moment it is made. Think of a young entrepreneur faced with an ethical crossroads. The pressure to cheat, to take shortcuts, to act selfishly, could destroy not just their reputation, but their soul. Yet in Islam, the knowledge that responsibility is personal transforms fear into clarity, hesitation into decisive moral courage. Every act of integrity, every moment of honesty, every choice to extend compassion becomes a living testament to human autonomy, reflecting the timeless principles taught through the story of Adam and Eve. Everyday life mirrors this eternal truth. Parents teaching honesty to children, teachers guiding students through challenges, colleagues choosing integrity over convenience. These moments are not mundane. They are echoes of the first human steps, imbued with moral significance. Each choice to act rightly becomes a channel of healing energy, a manifestation of light, and a step toward personal transformation. The empowerment that comes from embracing responsibility heals the spirit, strengthens the heart, and fosters an unshakable moral foundation. It teaches that freedom and accountability are inseparable, and that true empowerment arises from understanding the consequences of one's actions while embracing the power to choose. Consider the ripple effect of personal responsibility. A single act of kindness, a single decision to act ethically, can inspire countless others to follow suit. In a world where greed, deception, and indifference often dominate, the conscious choice to act with integrity becomes revolutionary. Every decision reinforces character, builds trust, and creates a legacy of ethical courage. Reflecting on Adam and Eve, Islam emphasizes that moral awareness is not abstract but deeply practical. Every human is equipped with the power to choose, to act, and to create meaningful impact. This principle transforms ordinary life into a sacred journey where every moment is an opportunity to embody ethical clarity, spiritual growth, and compassionate action. The lesson is universal. Your life is your own moral laboratory. The choices you make in private, the words you speak in quiet conversations, the decisions you wrestle with when no one is watching, all shape your soul. Personal responsibility empowers you to engage with life intentionally, to act with integrity, and to heal yourself and the world around you. Christianity and Islam converge here in subtle harmony. One teaches awareness of inherited imperfection to guide action. The other teaches immediate accountability to illuminate moral clarity. Both paths reveal the immense power of conscious choice and the potential to transform ordinary human life into a living testament of light, grace, and ethical courage. Comment below how you experience personal responsibility in your own life and share moments when choosing integrity changed the course of your day, your relationships, or your community. The moral and philosophical consequences of both perspectives. Now imagine the human heart as a battlefield where sin, grace, and responsibility intersect. Christianity teaches that original sin provides awareness, a map that illuminates human weakness, guiding us toward grace and ethical living. Every failure, every temptation, every moment of moral struggle is a chance to engage with divine mercy and transform imperfection into opportunity. A young professional navigating office politics, a friend confronted with betrayal, or a parent teaching a child the value of honesty. All these scenarios echo Adam's first steps and the eternal lessons embedded in Christianity. Recognizing imperfection is not defeat, it is empowerment. It teaches resilience, empathy, and the capacity to act morally, even in the shadow of weakness. Islam complements this perspective with the emphasis on personal responsibility. Each soul carries the power to act ethically, free from inherited blame, and accountable only for its own choices. This perspective empowers the human spirit to act decisively, to embrace moral clarity, and to cultivate integrity in every action. Consider the student who chooses honesty over cheating, the professional who refuses to compromise ethics for profit, or the neighbor who responds with patience and kindness instead of anger. Every act of conscious responsibility becomes a ripple of light that strengthens the moral fabric of the world. The fusion of these teachings reveals a profound truth. Human life is both influenced by awareness of imperfection and empowered by direct accountability. Every action resonates far beyond the individual, shaping relationships, communities, and even the moral trajectory of society itself. The philosophical consequences are profound. Original sin invites reflection, humility, and recognition of the universal struggle between weakness and virtue. Personal responsibility demands courage, vigilance, and conscious ethical decision-making. Together, they create a moral compass for modern life, guiding us to act with awareness, compassion, and foresight. Every decision, every word, every choice becomes a microcosm of the eternal narrative of Adam and Eve, a reminder that morality is both inherited and chosen, both reflective and proactive. Consider a real-life example, a community leader deciding whether to implement fair policies or exploit opportunities for personal gain. Awareness of imperfection, drawn from Christianity, reminds them that no one is morally perfect and that humility is required. Personal responsibility, drawn from Islam, reminds them that the consequences of their choices rest upon them alone, and that ethical courage will shape their legacy. In such moments, the lessons from Adam and Eve converge, illuminating the path to integrity, compassion, and enduring impact. Everyday actions become profound opportunities for ethical growth. The choice to forgive, to act with honesty, to extend kindness, and to lead with integrity embodies the convergence of original sin and personal responsibility. These ancient truths are alive in your daily decisions, inviting you to transform ordinary moments into acts of healing, light, and moral significance. Humanity is offered not only the awareness of its frailty, but also the empowerment to act virtuously, creating a sacred cycle of responsibility, grace, and conscious action. Comment below your reflections. Do you feel more guided by awareness of original sin, by personal responsibility, or by the delicate balance between the two? Like and subscribe to explore deeper, to engage with timeless wisdom that shapes modern life, and to become part of a journey where every choice, every reflection, and every action contributes to a world illuminated by light, ethical courage, and healing energy. Identifying common misunderstandings about original sin. Every human heart struggles with the shadows of misunderstanding, and original sin has often been misrepresented as a burden of judgment rather than a guiding light toward grace. Many believe it is a weight that condemns, a curse passed down unfairly, yet its true purpose is far more profound. It is a mirror reflecting human frailty, a compass directing us toward ethical clarity, and a catalyst for spiritual growth. Imagine a young professional facing temptation at work, a child struggling to tell the truth, or a friend wrestling with the impulse to act selfishly. In each scenario, The awareness of imperfection can either paralyze or empower, depending on how it is understood. Christianity teaches that recognizing the existence of sin is not about shame, it is about illumination. The acknowledgement of original sin provides a context in which grace becomes tangible and ethical choice becomes alive. Every act of compassion, honesty, and courage transforms inherited imperfection into a living opportunity for light and healing energy. Even in Islam, misunderstandings arise when personal responsibility is interpreted as isolation or pressure rather than empowerment. The Quran clarifies that each soul bears the consequences of its own choices, and this awareness creates power, clarity, and moral courage. A student choosing honesty over cheating, a professional refusing unethical shortcuts, or a neighbor extending patience and kindness all reflect the profound resonance of personal responsibility. It is both liberating and transformational, allowing each person to navigate life with purpose and to participate actively in the ethical shaping of their world. The lesson is clear. Human beings are equipped with tools to navigate moral complexity, whether through the recognition of inherited imperfection or the conscious exercise of autonomy. Consider a parent guiding a child through the challenges of growing up. The child may make mistakes, yet these moments become sacred opportunities to teach empathy, accountability, and moral awareness. Christianity offers a framework of grace that heals the heart when weakness arises, while Islam emphasizes that the power to choose wisely resides within the child, a sacred inheritance of moral clarity. Both perspectives converge to create a living dialogue between awareness and action, between inherited lesson and personal accountability. Everyday decisions, from the mundane to the profound, become portals through which these ancient teachings breathe life into modern existence. Each choice reflects the eternal struggle of Adam and Eve, the delicate balance between sin, accountability, and the healing power of conscious ethical engagement. Mistakes, failures, and ethical dilemmas become not obstacles but lessons. Every challenge is a reflection of the first human steps, a reminder that imperfection is universal and that the capacity for grace and personal integrity exists in each individual. By understanding these principles, we transform misunderstanding into insight and fear of failure into courage to act with wisdom, compassion, and light. Reflect on your own life. Moments where you hesitated, where you faltered, or where you chose the path of integrity instead. Each is a living echo of the teachings of original sin and personal responsibility, guiding you toward growth, healing, and moral clarity. Comment below your reflections on how awareness of sin or personal accountability shapes your choices and your life. And share moments when these principles transformed your decisions or interactions. Lessons for modern life. Every choice you make today is a reflection of the first lessons in the Garden of Creation. Original sin and personal responsibility are not abstract ideas. They are vibrant, living energies that shape your actions, your relationships, and your destiny. Imagine navigating the complexities of modern life with these principles as guides. The tension between ethical temptation and the call to act with integrity. The pull between instinct and conscious choice. The quiet moments when decisions define character. In these moments, the ancient teachings of Christianity and Islam converge to offer insight, empowerment, and healing. Every act of honesty, kindness, or courage becomes a microcosm of the eternal narrative, a living connection to the wisdom of Adam and Eve, and a conduit of light into the world. Consider a young adult facing a moral dilemma at work, the choice to prioritize profit over ethics, or the choice to act with integrity despite challenges. Christianity teaches that awareness of original sin highlights human vulnerability, guiding the heart toward grace and ethical action. Islam emphasizes that personal responsibility gives the individual the power to act decisively, accountable for every consequence. Together, these frameworks empower the human spirit to navigate complexity with awareness, courage, and moral clarity. Every decision becomes a chance to cultivate ethical strength, compassion, and the healing energy that flows from conscious, deliberate action. Reflect on the ripple effect. A simple act of honesty or kindness can influence friends, colleagues, family, and even strangers in ways that extend far beyond the immediate moment. The moral lessons of Adam and Eve are alive in these interactions, shaping the ethical and spiritual landscape of the world. Christianity illuminates the path by recognizing human frailty and offering grace, while Islam empowers the individual to exercise conscious moral authority. Each principle heals, teaches, and inspires. Life itself becomes a canvas for these ancient truths. Your words, your deeds, and your choices paint a picture of integrity, light, and ethical courage. Even ordinary decisions become extraordinary when informed by these lessons. When you pause before reacting in anger, when you choose patience over resentment, or when you extend empathy to someone undeserving, you are engaging directly with the timeless teachings of original sin and personal responsibility. These moments, though small, hold immense power. They transform relationships, communities, and personal growth, demonstrating that ethical living is both a personal journey and a universal imperative. The convergence of these teachings invites reflection, self-awareness, and conscious action, creating a life of profound moral resonance and spiritual depth. Comment your thoughts below. Do you feel more influenced by the awareness of original sin, by the power of personal responsibility, or by the balance between the two? Like and subscribe to continue exploring the wisdom of Scripture, to engage with a community dedicated to living with integrity, grace, and ethical consciousness, and to illuminate the path toward personal growth, healing, and the transformative power of choice. The echoes of Adam and Eve resonate in every heartbeat, every breath, and every choice we make. And yet most of humanity walks through life unaware of the invisible threads of original sin, personal responsibility, grace, and ethical choice that bind our souls to the first footsteps in the garden. Imagine standing in the quiet of your own life, seeing the moments where your decisions ripple outward, shaping not just your destiny, but the moral landscape of everyone around you. Every smile offered, every act of patience, every ethical choice becomes a living connection to the lessons written in Scripture, vibrating with energy, light, and transformative potential. Original sin is not punishment. It is a reflection, a mirror of imperfection that illuminates the need for grace, humility, and conscious ethical action. Personal responsibility is not weight. It is empowerment, the sacred gift that reminds you that your choices matter, that your actions echo, and that your life is a canvas upon which light and integrity can be painted in every moment. Think of a child learning honesty for the first time, a professional standing at a moral crossroads, a friend choosing forgiveness over resentment. These are the living lessons of Adam and Eve, the embodiment of how humanity can rise above instinct, temptation, and inherited weakness. Christianity reminds us that acknowledging sin allows us to seek guidance, to extend grace to ourselves and others, and to transform our mistakes into opportunities for healing. Islam reminds us that personal accountability is immediate, empowering, and profound, urging us to embrace courage, integrity, and ethical clarity in every action. Together, these truths illuminate the path of moral consciousness, offering insight, empowerment, and emotional healing in ways that transcend time, culture, and circumstance. Every decision is a portal. Choosing kindness over anger, honesty over deceit, patience over frustration, and courage over fear transforms ordinary life into a living expression of light, grace, and responsibility. Imagine a young adult deciding between self-interest and ethical action, or a parent guiding a child through a moral dilemma, or a friend offering forgiveness instead of retaliation. Each moment is infused with the eternal resonance of Adam and Eve, demonstrating that the lessons of original sin and personal responsibility are alive in the modern world. Every action, no matter how small, has the power to influence, heal, and transform the self and the surrounding world. The ripple effect of conscious ethical living spreads beyond the individual, shaping communities, relationships, and even the spiritual atmosphere of those touched by intention, courage, and light. Consider the moments in your own life where you could have chosen differently, where your heart was tested, where a decision could have echoed negatively or positively for years. These are not just memories. They are living exercises in moral navigation, opportunities to apply the teachings of Scripture to the rhythm of daily life. Original sin teaches awareness of imperfection, the need for grace, and the transformative power of reflection and humility. Personal responsibility teaches that every choice carries consequence, that ethical courage is a form of spiritual power, and that your decisions can heal, uplift, and illuminate the world in ways that are both visible and unseen. The intersection of these truths creates a living, breathing framework for ethical action, emotional resilience, and spiritual growth. Every act of kindness, honesty, or courage becomes a living prayer, a testament to the enduring lessons of humanity's first moral awakening. Imagine the energy released when a person chooses forgiveness over resentment, when they act with integrity in a high-stakes decision, or when they extend compassion to someone undeserving. Each of these actions resonates with the energy of original sin recognized and personal responsibility embraced. They transform weakness into strength, fear into empowerment, and ordinary moments into sacred opportunities for light to flow into the world. The Scriptures guide us not as distant histories, but as active forces shaping our everyday lives, teaching that morality, grace, and accountability are immediate, tangible, and transformative. Reflect on your own journey. How do the lessons of Adam and Eve manifest in your daily life? Are you aware of the weight of sin, the power of choice, the potential for grace and transformation in each interaction? Every moment is a chance to act ethically, to extend light, to embrace personal responsibility, and to heal not just yourself, but the people and world around you. The ancient truths of Christianity and Islam converge here, illuminating the path for modern lives, reminding us that the power to change, the capacity to forgive, and the opportunity to create positive impact are always present, always available, and always sacred. Even in ordinary routines, the principles of original sin and personal responsibility are at work. When you pause before speaking in anger, when you choose empathy over judgment, when you act with integrity in a challenging situation, you are participating in the eternal story of humanity's first moral awakening. Every choice is a brushstroke, every action a reflection of the light, every ethical decision a manifestation of the energy that shapes souls, communities, and the spiritual fabric of the world. This is the profound lesson of Adam and Eve, that morality is both inherited and chosen, that weakness is universal, but grace is abundant, and that every human has the power to act, to heal, and to illuminate the path for others. Comment below your reflections. Do you feel guided more by awareness of original sin or the empowerment of personal responsibility? How have these forces shaped your daily choices, your relationships, or your understanding of morality? Like and subscribe to continue exploring these eternal truths, to join a community dedicated to ethical consciousness, spiritual growth, and emotional healing, and to keep engaging with insights that illuminate the path of light, grace, and moral clarity. Every interaction, every reflection, and every choice contributes to the ongoing flow of positive energy, awareness, and conscious transformation. Even the smallest engagement strengthens this journey, spreading light, compassion, and ethical courage into the world. Carry these truths into every moment. Let them guide your actions, your words, your relationships, and your decisions. Allow the energy of original sin acknowledged, personal responsibility embraced, and grace received to transform ordinary life into a living testament of light, love, and moral power. Every day, every action, every interaction is a chance to embody these timeless lessons, to heal yourself, to uplift others, and to illuminate the world with conscious, ethical, and compassionate living. If this video has offered insight, clarity, or emotional resonance, consider contributing a bit of your energy to keep this journey alive by engaging, commenting, and sharing your reflections. Every small act of participation fuels the continuation of this work, allowing the ancient truths of Adam and Eve, original sin, and personal responsibility to inspire, heal, and empower hearts around the world. Your engagement is priceless, your attention sacred, and your reflections valuable beyond measure. The story does not end here. It lives through your choices, your actions, and the light you bring into every day.